free cash, no strings attached. That's the experiment of universal basic income, and it just wrapped up in Democrat-run Boulder, Colorado. The program used taxpayer dollars to provide low-income residents with $500 a month, no work requirements, and they could spend it however they wanted. Some bought groceries, some paid debt, some took guitar lessons. But one thing organizers admit, families were still struggling with childcare, healthcare, and housing costs. At least 20 other cities, including LA, San Francisco, Chicago, and New York, have tried similar experiments. But are progressive lawmakers funding a lifeline to working families or a cycle of dependency? Adam, ingenuity guy, innovation guy.
Yeah.
Is this the kind of thing that can undergird the economy you want to see or not?
No, absolutely not. Any government that's capable of giving its citizens everything they want is equally capable of taking it away. No, I do not want to see money handed out by the government for free. Welfare is one thing. Triple P payments were one thing. Remember when people were told you can't work, you can't do anything, and the government actually handed out $20,000 checks.
Paycheck protection
to just keep people alive during COVID. Okay, that's one thing. But to just this notion of universal guaranteed income where you just get checks from the government, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I mean, where's it going to come from anyway?
They're hanging, well, it comes from taxpayers right now. Yeah. Actually, the experiment in Boulder came from COVID money.
Yeah.
We spent COVID money. We're still spending COVID money on that. But Jackie, the argument these guys make, and I think there's some sympathy for this, AI is going to so fundamentally change the labor force that if you don't do a universal basic income for people, they're not going to have a job and they're not going to be able to earn a living, basically. So it's the looming threat of AI that a lot of people hold out there. What do you think about that?
This is like the looming threat of inflation from tariffs that Jerome Powell is talking about that hasn't materialized yet. Let's see what happens with AI before we start cutting checks like this. Some proponents of AI will actually tell you will boost job creation in other ways, in formations that we haven't actually seen before. If you look back through history, other technological advances have done that. So, you know, to me, this is just another reason to basically write checks to people and pin it on, oh, AI's coming to eat your lunch and this is what we have to do. I mean, the proponents of a system like this say it reduces poverty and income inequality. It improves health and mental well-being by reducing stress and insecurity. It boosts entrepreneurship and growth. I didn't hear about anybody there starting a business or trying to, you know, do something really substantial.
Playing guitar, but that's not really a business.
Right, and so this check of spend it how you wish is it's going down a bad road, and it's going to de-incentivize people from doing the hard work that our system is built upon.
So one guy who's weighed in on this, Dagan, one of your favorites, Mark Andreessen, made the point that work doesn't merely play a function of income. It's part of how humans create meaning for their lives. And so if you give them cash and you have no expectation for work, you're depriving them of the biggest contributor of purpose to why they live their lives. What do you think?
There is dignity in work. There is pride in work. Work is godly. And that's how I was raised. And if you have generations of people, why are you laughing?
No, I'm not on that. No,
just
not
having a different thought independently.
No. Actually, I couldn't agree with you more.
What were you laughing about?
I was laughing because I've got a pair of jeans on today and they're showing a little too much on camera.
Oh, they were talking in your ear.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you know what? You're working. You're a working
I'm wearing
man.
my working jeans
You're
right
wearing
now.
your dungarees.
I'm wearing my blue jeans because work is good, and I couldn't agree with you
I
more.
am okay with your dungarees, Sean. But in terms of what there will, I guarantee you, there will be no quantitative analysis of whether this works or not.
Right.
And also, they dole this money out in Boulder to just 200 families. You know what that is? That is a way to make other people in Boulder want it.
Right.
It's like, oh, well,
they got it.
It is the Envy program, the Envy welfare. Well, they got money. I want money. It will be a disaster. But you mentioned AI. This is the classic left-wing liberal maneuver.
Right.
AI is coming to steal all of our jobs. We need to get ahead of this devastating economic tsunami. It is fear, equals control, and control equals power. It's the same thing that they did during COVID. And they come up with an excuse that is, or a story that is frightening to people, to try and con politicians into doling out money. And you mentioned PPP, the EIDL, and the unemployment insurance. 300 billion plus, at least, it's about $500 billion was just stolen out of those programs. But if they're going to spend money on anything, these cities and states need to start building beds for the dangerously psychotic, for people who have serious mental illness. It is at a record low across this country, and more than half of them are taken up by people in states that are in these psychiatric wards because they're already in the criminal justice system. I could go on, but if you spend a dime, you better spend a dime on one hospital bed for a psychiatric patient.
And can I just add to that, that then the people who do get the checks, they look at you the same way people who got the stimulus checks during COVID, and they're like, government that gave me this check, whoever it was, you're my God. You saved me. You have my vote. I mean, it's buying votes to a certain extent.
With COVID money. Like this is COVID money they're still using for this. You know, Mike, one piece of this is they do these little experiments and they try to study them and decide if they work or not. It's so different to do this little kind of thing in one city versus a nationwide UBI. And you can't study it at a nationwide level. So you're going to find out the hard way if it doesn't work if you do it at that scale.
So another word for universal basic income is helicopter money, where you just throw the money out of the helicopter. It doesn't work, right? If something is free, what's its value? Right? So what happened to the value of our currency with the largest UBI experiment in history during COVID? We had the worst inflation in 40 years. Okay, so inflation is still way above where it was. And like we could talk about what the Fed did with interest rates and deficit spending. We had that all for like post-2008 leading into COVID. It was this helicopter money that took inflation to unimaginable heights. And so it's 200 people. You can spin the data any way you want. It's such a small data sample. And Boulder, Colorado is not known as a bastion of free thought or conservatism. It's like Havana, Cuba there. So like, this is a horrible idea that will destroy our society. And to Dagan's point, the Protestant work ethic is what built our country. There is dignity in work. It is the Lord's work, right? You are to earn the fruits of your labor, right? This is what our country is built on. It's literally why they left Europe, so they could come over here, build what they want and keep it, right? And raise their families. So this is and the fact that they're still talking about it after the disaster it was during COVID, to me, it's mind-blowing, but not surprising at the same time.
Well, it's very consistent with the progressive experiment to make more people dependent on government redistribution. And they'll run these experiments till kingdom come and find one that they think proves it works. Okay, is Intel making a major comeback? Why one tech titan's big investment may be the chip maker's latest lifeline? We'll tell you next in our Tech Check.